open to this meeting of the Inner West Council. I will now declare the meeting open at 6:33 p.m. on 29th of December 2021. My name is Peter Gainsford. I'm the General Manager of the Inner West Council, and I'll be the chairperson of the meeting until the election of Mayor has been conducted. In the spirit of open, accessible, transparent government, the council meetings of the Inner West Council will be streamed live on Council's website. The camera will be focused on the front of the chamber. It will not be focused on the speakers or the public. By speaking at a council meeting, participants agree to be recorded and must ensure their speech to council is respectful and use appropriate language. The person who uses defamatory, discriminatory or offensive language may be exposed to liability, which council takes no responsibility. Firstly, I would like to invite Uncle Alan Murray from the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Land Councils to perform the Welcome to Country.
Good evening. I'm the chair of the Metropolitan Local Land Council, so you've got me in the right spot and right frame of mind, because I come in here and I'm thinking, where is the hospitality? Where is the meet and greet? What happened? I'm regarded as an elder, so where is that meet and greet? I say this to people who I don't know. Do you want to be strangers, or do you want to be friends? Welcome to country sometimes is easy, sometimes it's not. But when you come to a country where our people were massacred because of this great need for land, I'm talking about the Wangal people. So the Wangal people live between that river over there and also Parramatta River. They have the largest land base, largest estate. And it's important to note that as chairperson and my board, we are the custodians. We are the custodians of something like 20 clans that make up the Eora Nation. And it's important to note that when you're talking to the chair or talking to our board, you are talking with the authority to speak on matters about this land and other land. And I'm looking here through the windows and I can see, I suppose, there's another clan that lived over there. And from here to the Blue Mountains, there's something like 20 other different clans that make up the Eora Nation. But it's important to note that you need to get your settings right. Please don't make any assumptions these days, because and if you want to be part of our legacy, we've been here for 40,000 years, 60,000 years, 120,000 years. We've got generations of people who've lived in the area. And we've got other generations who've come from country to live in this area. So my role as the chair is to assure governors like yourselves to make sure we have meetings and that it's corrected, and also declarations about conflict of interest, pecuniary interest and all that, but also authority to speak on this country. And we know there are a few families who can say they've got lay claims. They are descendants of before 1770, and they're still living here. They're the Bidjigal people and also the Gadigal people. So we respect to the Wangal people. We pay respect to their traditions, their culture and their continuation, because their continuation of culture is still there. We can still examine and we can still make an effort to understand how they live on this great land called Wangal land. With that, I want to pay respects to all elders, past, present, of other clans that also pass through these great lands, and I'll pay respect to them. With that, on behalf of the Metropolitan Local Land Council and its members, welcome to Wangal land, Aboriginal land, always was, always will be Aboriginal land. And good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uncle Alan. Councillors, apologies. Next item on the agenda. Are there any apologies tonight? I think every councillor is present. Declarations of interest. Do any councillors present have any declarations of interest in any of the matters on the business paper tonight? No? I'll ask everyone to join me in a moment of quiet contemplation. Thank you, councillors. Item 1 on the agenda is the oath or affirmation by councillors. Under section 233A of the Local Government Act, each councillor at or before the first meeting of a new council is required to take an oath or make affirmation of office, and this is then required to be formally recorded. I've been able to meet with all councillors individually and formally record the undertaking of the oath or affirmation of office prior to tonight's meeting. This decision was made to ensure that there be no risk to councillors that could not attend and partake in tonight's proceedings, and also to enable the meeting to be done expeditiously. Due to this slight change in the proceedings, I propose a minor change to the recommendation as detailed in the report, with the inclusion of prior to tonight's ordinary council meeting added to the end of the recommendation. If you look on the screens, councillors, you'll see a recommendation that council note taking the oath or making of the affirmation of office undertaken by each councillor prior to tonight's council meeting.
Move that way.
I have a mover, Councillor Drury, a seconder, Councillor De Cruz, and I will now put that motion to vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. And I declare that carried unanimously. Thank you, councillors. Item 2 is the election of Mayor and Deputy Mayor. This will be done in accordance with provisions of the Local Government Act and regulations. The term of Mayor is until September 2023. This will be slightly shorter than the normal based on the delayed 2021 local government elections, and in accordance with section 290.1.b of the Local Government Act 1993. The method of voting to be used for the election and deputy mayor is traditionally being done by open voting through a show of hands. So that's the first, that's common practice. The second decision we need to make tonight is we elect the deputy mayor, and if so, the length of the term for the deputy mayor, and the method of voting will be determined as described above. The term of the deputy mayor is determined by council, can be the same length as the mayoral term or a shorter term, which is generally 1 year, to still coincide with the election of mayor. This term would also need to be slightly shorter and would be September 2022. And this is only applicable if we choose to elect a deputy mayor. Councillors, can I please have a motion for how the elections are to be conducted?
General Manager, may I move that we conduct the resolution as printed with the voting by public show of hands, and that the term for the deputy mayor be until September 2022.
Thank you, councillors. So it's as per the screen there. Thank you. Do I have a seconder? So that's moved Second Lockie. So moved Councillor Drury, seconded Councillor Lockie. So I'll now put the motion to the vote. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Or I declare that unanimous. Thank you, councillors. Now the council's resolved the method of voting. Please note that every councillor is entitled to 1 vote for a mayor or deputy mayor candidate per round of voting. In the event of a tie, I'll write the names of candidates on similar slips of paper and fold them and place them in a hat to be chosen by lot, and request the staff member to shake the hat, and the candidate whose name will be drawn out will be declared mayor or deputy mayor. I will now commence the election of mayor. In the order which I've received them, I have nominations for the position of mayor for Councillor Shetty, and also for the position of mayor for Councillor Byrne. These nominations have been signed by 2 or more councillors, and each nominee has confirmed their consent in writing. Do I have any further nominations for mayor? No. First mayoral nominee, so Councillor Shetty. Would those councillors voting for Councillor Shetty please raise your hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. For the second mayoral nominee, Councillor Byrne. Would those councillors voting for Councillor Byrne please raise your hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I declare Councillor Byrne elected as the Mayor of the Inner West Council to September 2023. I now invite Mayor Byrne to take his seat next to myself. And congratulations, Mayor Byrne.
Well, thanks very much, Peter. I begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land and paying my respects to their elders, both past and present. I congratulate and thank all of the new councillors who have been sworn in this week and look forward to working with all of you. I'm going to refrain from any further comments tonight, but would suggest that we all make some opening remarks at the first available occasion at the next meeting in the new year, and we conclude tonight's business as quickly as possible to ensure that we minimise the risk of COVID transmission. Mr. General Manager, am I to conduct the election for Deputy Mayor, or are you?
No, I am.
Excellent. Over to you.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. So, election of Deputy Mayor. I will conduct the election of Deputy Mayor in the order I've received the nominations for position of Deputy Mayor. I have Councillor De Arenzo and Councillor Lockie. Do I have any further nominations for Deputy Mayor? No? Okay, by show of hands, we'll do this vote again by show of hands, councillors. Would those councillors voting for Councillor De Arenzo please raise your hand? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for those voting for Councillor Lockie, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I declare Councillor De Arenzo is elected as Deputy Mayor of the Inner West Council until September 2022. Congratulations.
Councillors, there's one remaining item on the agenda for consideration tonight, which is in regards to the countback system proposed, which we must determine for any vacancy caused to this council in the first 18 months of the term. The recommendation reads as follows: that council, pursuant to section 291A(1)(b) of the Local Government Act 1993, declare that casual vacancies occurring in the office of a councillor within 18 months after the last ordinary election of councillors for the council on the 4th of December 2021 are to be filled by a countback of votes cast at that election for the office in accordance with section 291A of the Act. And second, the council directs the General Manager to notify the New South Wales Electoral Commission election manager of the council's decision within 7 days of that decision.
Move that way.
Councillor Drury will move the adoption of that recommendation, seconded by Councillor Lockie. Are there any questions that anyone has for the council officers prior to putting that motion? If not, I'll put that. All those in favour? All those against? Declare that carried unanimously. Councillors, that concludes the agenda items on the business papers tonight. I declare the meeting closed.